That is hardcore.
This is hardcore shit.
But for me, it's harder and harder to resist.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hardcore Horror with Mike and Brigitte. This is the September 2025 edition. Brigitte, what's going on over there? We talking to somebody tonight? Who we got?
Hey, what's up, Mike? Tonight we've got really someone special. We have Guerrilla Metropolitana, who just had a film just come out, so we're super excited to talk about it. Hey, what's going on over there?
All good, all good. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Yeah, we're excited to have you and to talk about this crazy new film that you just had come out. It's called The Benefactress. The Benefactress. And then you had a film prior to that, which was Dariuss. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. I don't know if anyone is familiar with these films, but they're definitely different. You're kind of known for pushing boundaries. So I want to let you talk a little bit about your film, because when you explain it so great.
Yes. This film, The Benefactress, I think the essence of this film can be summarized in the title itself, an exposure of cinematic freedom, because that's what it is. And it's an experiment of cinema where the filmmaker, in this case myself, is deliberately pushing boundaries in order to break every single traditional format of cinema, from storytelling to taboos to structure of the film, even camera angles, even the fact the film was done 97, 98% almost totally improvised, despite I had dozens of pages of draft, which I prepared for months. And at the last minute, I decided to completely ignore all of that and say, you know what, I'm going to disobey my own rules. There will be no discipline, there will be no structure, there will be no storytelling to follow. Even the fact that with one of the actresses, Mystery Woman, I've decided at the last minute to have real sex on the set.
So that was a question. So not simulated.
That was not planned. Again, I did ask her first, obviously. I said, do you have a problem with that? She said, I don't think so. No, go for it. And we've done it. And one take, one shot. So there was no multiple takes. There was no rehearsing. So everything was in the moment. Everything was really wild. And it was about my freedom as a filmmaker, rather than following a plot traditionally, like most films. The film has a very simple story, which is summarized in the beginning with a prologue. The rest is just the madness of the director going wild, and expressing himself through sadism, through rape, through work of madness in place through filmmaking, and without morality, without restrictions, without any boundaries. Anything that came in my mind, I did. The only rule was no rule. That was the only rule. I could do anything I wanted. So this film is all about that level of freedom. Complete freedom, total freedom. A freedom which is, to some, probably to many people, to most people, almost scary, because it's a freedom that really does not exclude anything. literally anything. And the film is all about that. That's why I say the title speaks for itself. An exposure of cinematic freedom.
Now, did you have a difficult time finding a cast for this? Because
Yes,
I would think
absolutely.
as me doing acting, if that's what I was told by a director, and they're like anything goes, there's no rules, I'd be like, I don't know, So, okay, I
This
can
film was a
imagine it would be
nightmare.
hard.
Was an absolute nightmare. I
Yeah.
had nothing but problems in this film. I didn't have these problems with Dariuss, but I did have problems with this film. It took me a year and a half, more or less. I can't even remember exactly. Finding the actresses. Even when I was working on Dariuss, I was already looking for actresses for this film. It was an international call from anywhere in the world. And I've been going through around 200 female candidates from America, Europe, Asia, from almost all over the world. Married women with experience, unmarried women, professional actresses, non-professional actresses. Everything was, there. And many actresses pulled out at the end because they were not too sure about the content. Others wanted to do it, but their husband threatened me. They sent me death threats saying, if you cast my wife, I'm going to kill you, or whatever. And other actresses, they say yes, but then they change their minds at the end. So I was back to square one. Then I found another actress, which was from Mississippi, United States. Everything was set, but then at the end, she had problems with her passport. She could not come, to London. So anyway, at the end, finally, I made my choice. I cast a British actress, which I called with an alias of Juicy X, which was the protagonist of a short film I made prior. Heavy-set British woman, not afraid of explicit scenes, very courageous, mainstream actress, so she never done anything even remotely like that. But she was brave. She said, okay, it's your vision, not mine. If you want to do it, I'll do it. And then as a second actress, as a co-star, I cast another British mainstream actress, which I gave the alias of Mystery Woman. And the compromise with both of them was that I wasn't going to expose their identity for obvious reasons, because they had mainstream careers, and they didn't want their life to be ruined with this film. So that was the condition. I say, absolutely, ladies, you have my word on it. In exchange, I would ask you to get wild with me during that weekend. You will give me anything I want, anything. And the word no must not exist. And that was the deal.
Awesome.
That's it. And this film is very raw. It's you have to go into this film with a very open mind. It's not for everyone. It's an experimental film, right? So you go in with an open mind, and you go in for the experience of it. It makes me wonder how many people go into it and never make it all the way to the end.
Yes.
I bet you hear that a lot. Don't you? You hear that a lot?
Yeah, I mean, it's an experimental film. It's art house, extreme art house, underground, highly pornographic, horrific in its rawness, very gritty, very raw, very realistic. It was shot purely on meta cinema, the film within the film, hand camera, positioning myself, lying down in bed with the actresses. I was touching myself as I was filming. In the film, you can see it. I ejaculated on the actress when she was giving oral to the other actress. I was forcing one of the actors to lick the other one, and so the whole film was an orgy of madness, in which I found solace in expressing myself through this temple of bodies which were at my disposal, creating art, and destroying, pissing, shitting on traditional values, traditional cinema, traditional costumes, and traditional morals. I'm not politically correct. I'm not even a liberal, in fact. I'm a very wild animal, libertarian, wild animal, who simply doesn't give a fuck about lessons of morality, especially if it comes from liberals fucks. I piss on it. Not because I mean, my best friend is a liberal. I have nothing against liberals as people. My problem is when the ideology of liberalism becomes an obstruction to my cinema. When just because I want to give oral to one of my actresses for real, I get blamed for being misogynist. No, she's my actress. I can do anything I want to her. She gave me permission. I can do that. I can film it. I can come. She can come. We can both come. We can make a film out of this, and happy days. That's the film. It's a sense of incredible freedom, which this film literally is an introduction to say, do whatever you fucking want. It's fine. It's okay. We can piss on mainstream values. We can piss on independent cinema that tries to look like mainstream and completely lost its underground roots. So this film is very much a declaration of war from the director himself, from me. Yes.
Okay. So now you said that you had an outline or a script there whenever you sort of scrapped it all whenever you started. Did any of that you had in mind make it into the film? Was it completely, absolutely, totally different than what you had originally sort of planned out? And if so, are you going to plan on ever doing anything with what you sort of left behind?
Well, this film is my second and last film. First of all, there will be nothing else.
Why is that?
Pride, to crystallize myself with two brilliant films without risking to drop the standards. In other words, cinematically speaking, killing myself in order to avoid to become old, to be forever young, and to be forever these two films, Dariuss and The Benefactress, without risking to drop the standards and dedicate my time to other forms of art, like experimental photography. That's the next thing I'm going to be doing. The actresses, whilst making this film, they didn't know what was going to happen. They were prepared about the type of film we were going to make. Of course, they knew what was coming, but they didn't know exactly what it was. They didn't have any script. The film has no dialogue. We locked ourselves in this house for the weekend, and the only instruction was to get wild. So we just locked the doors. I turned the cameras on, and I said to them, "I'm going to do anything I want with you, ladies, and we're going to start shooting." And that's what happened. It was a weekend where everybody was mentally prepared. It was going to be a one-off experience.
So you said you only did
all of us.
You said you only did one take on most stuff. Now, did you film most of the weekend and then cut around what you wanted?
Yeah, apart from 2 or 3 scenes, everything else was one take. And in fact, I didn't even turn the camera off after the take. In some scenes, I just left the camera rolling because I wanted to get as much realism as possible to make it look like an amatorial, homemade movie made by a teenage boy who never used a camera before. It was the ideal search for imperfection, the ideal search for the defect, the ideal search for the dirty type of filmmaking. In other words, you give a camera to a 14 years old boy who has a hard on and you ask him, start shooting a film and you'll see all the defects. Well, that's exactly the type of filmmaking style I was after. The opposite of perfectionism, the opposite of a nice, polished, clean cut camera shot with a nice move, nice and smooth. No, everything was very raw, very shaky, very underground, deliberately. It was the search for the perfect underground vision. Yes.
I kind of did like that though. I did like the different camera angles, the sound and cinematography was great. And how you even had like some text is flashing on the screen and the camera
Subliminal.
clicking. Yes, that's what I was trying to get at. And I thought it just added that much more kind of creepiness to it. And then it kind of almost looked like an old like 70s raw film. I really liked the way it was shot. I think you just captured that. It just added that extra creepy element to everything else
Yes.
that was happening. Yeah.
There was a lot of subliminal messages in the film.
Yes, subliminal messages.
The
Yes.
subliminal messages, there's a lot of which are not casual. They are actually a type of alternative narration. The words written on the screen for milliseconds are explaining what you are about to see. I give you, for example, there's one moment where after I grab a dildo and I start anally penetrating myself in front of a mirror whilst filming myself, I am going to the bathroom with a syringe and a drug. That drug name appears on the screen for like half second, and it's called Pervitin, which is a type of drug the Nazis used to use during World War II to give it to their soldiers to make them invincible fighters. So it was like Viagra times 10. And I inject that on my penis in the film in order to have a super hard on and use my penis as a weapon. In fact, my behavior in the film after I inject myself with Pervitin is 10 times worse. I start sodomizing the protagonist, Juicy X, going even more wild with the victim. The whole sadistic behavior from the director, from me, gets 10 times worse after I inject myself with Pervitin. And again, it's part of that freedom which I wanted to symbolize in the film and create with that house. I deliberately shot the entire film indoors to make it very claustrophobic, very little variations of rooms, so the viewer will go literally nuts after viewing the film after 1 hour and 7 minutes, because there's not variation of locations, there's no outdoor shot, there's only 2 or 3 rooms, and everything is very repetitive. So it's deliberately to bring the audience, the public, the viewer into a state of almost metastasis, where they are completely numb from what they're seeing. They might get sexually aroused, but at the same time they feel repulsed, disgusted by what they see, disgusted with themselves for having arousal thoughts out of sadism. It's really a situation of psychological sexual madness, which is evoked in within the house, which by that time has become almost like a cosmos, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Interesting. I'd never seen anything like it before. So, and it stuck with me for a few days. So, yes, that was good. So, I know everyone listening or watching this podcast they're going to want to know, where can they watch this movie?
This film just came out a few weeks ago. It's already on sale on physical media, DVD, and so on, with an American distribution company called Blood Pact Films, which is a young company, only a few years old. And they launched the film after other distributors didn't want to touch it. They say, no, thank you, you can have it. Another distribution company called the film repulsive, called me a disgrace. They just didn't want to touch. They said, this is absolute total pornographic shit, fuck you. And then Blood Pact Films, they saw the film, they go like, hey man, this is controversial art, it's absolute wonder, it's a wonderful piece of cinema, we want it. And they bought it. And now it's on DVD, Blu-ray, and soon it will be also on streaming as well, especially in the United States. And the film is doing well. It's causing a lot of division. There are people already using words like masterclass of filmmaking, work of art, and stuff like that. And other people who call it disgusting, just horrible, trash, piece of shit film. There's nothing in between, which is exactly what I expected. This film was not made to shock people. It was made to release myself in terms of creativity, which is a completely different thing. It was me grabbing a couple of actresses and going absolutely wild and nuts and creating something of this caliber without even following the story of the film, like I said, without following my own instructions, without knowing what to tell the actresses minute by minute. I was literally improvising and said to the actresses, okay, you bend over, you start touching yourself. And in the meantime, I was touching myself. You bend over again, I'm start touching you, you touch her, we both come, and I start shooting, and taking the shot and so on. That was the spirit of the film, complete madness.
Did you have any influences when you were making these movies? Like anything that sort of gave you some inspiration, filmmakers, movies, etc.?
My influence really comes from paintings, because that's what my background is, erotic painting. So I'm very much obsessed with nude paintings, women, large breasts. I was an art student. I always had women, guys as well, posing nude for me so I could paint them, so that's my background. I'm also a musician, so that's my second kind of background. And that's where all the sound aspect that you were referring about, which is very elaborate in the film, comes from my musical background. But yeah, to answer your question, my main inspiration actually comes from erotic paintings rather than films.
Okay. Yeah, very artistic. Very artistic.
Well, yes, but again, artistic it's a word that is often misused, because people who call themselves artists, I call them clowns. So when I hear the word that you are very artistic, I'm always very wary. I don't see myself as an artist. I see myself more like an experimental creator, a guy who likes to experiment with things, whether it is cinema, music, sexuality, or whatever. I always experimented in life, and cinema is just another way to experiment things. And this film is very much about experimenting, even more than Dariuss. With Dariuss, I experimented a lot. But with this film, the bar of experimentation is way over 100%. It's pure experimentation.
Now Dariuss is out there. People can watch that now, right? It's available streaming.
Dariuss, yeah, it's been there now from 2023. It has practically become a cult film already. It's some double distribution, SRS Cinema, Ultra Visual Films, Prime US. It's already there on Prime US. I don't know how they accepted it, but they did. It's quite extreme. Nowhere near the Benefactress in terms of explicit scenes, but it is quite graphic. But it's a different kind of animal. It's very artsy, very art house, whilst the Benefactress is very much like an experimental homemade movie. But they are both, experimental, and they have very little to do with horror. So they are kind of pushed towards that direction from marketing purposes. But in reality, they have very little to do with horror.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not something like that. The Benefactress. I don't think it's something that your typical horror fan would watch.
No. So I'm gonna move because there's not enough electricity. I forgot to charge my phone, so
That's okay. That's okay.
yeah.
No worries. Do you have any more questions for him, Mike?
I think that's all I got, man.
Yeah. So, and we'll definitely put a link out where our listeners can go and purchase your film, The Benefactress, since it's not available to stream yet. So we'll definitely put that out there. And what about you? Like, if they want to look you up on like social media, where can you be found?
I can be found on Facebook under the name Chris Politana, although Guerrilla Metropolitana, the actual name appears under. Chris Politana is the main name on Facebook. Instagram as Guerrilla Metropolitana.
Okay.
And but most importantly, my two films, they can find me in my films, Dariuss and The Benefactress. Dariuss, it's on distribution, like I say, with SRS Cinema and Ultravision Films, Prime streaming, Fossum as well. Dariuss is in many different places, both as physical media and streaming. And The Benefactress is available on DVD, Blu-ray, and soon on Fossum. That will be the first streaming platform where the film will be available over the next few weeks. Fossum.
Oh, nice.
And possibly after that, there will be more platforms. People who are going to... This is not a film to be enjoyed. It's not a film that you watch and you go like, wow, I really enjoyed this. It's not a film to be enjoyed. It was not meant to be like, this is an experiment of cinema. It's like, hey guys, let's lock ourselves in this room. Let's have an orgy. That is what the film is. It's not about a pleasant experience. It's about feeling something different, experimenting something different, experimenting a complete different concept of artistic freedom, which goes beyond any textbook, any protocol, anything. I mean, even the acting from the two actresses, Juicy X and Mystery Woman especially, they both come from traditional background. They know what acting is. They've been in the business for decades. They've been doing theater, television, films, short films, even commercials in Britain. And yet they were able to transform themselves into sexual animals for this film. That's acting also. The ability to go from mainstream to extreme art house, pornographic underground experimental stuff, and be able to achieve a powerhouse level of performance. It's something truly amazing, in my opinion. And again, it takes courage from an actress, especially, because I can put myself in their shoes. If I was an actress, I would go like, I would be very careful, very wary of this, because I'm not Harvey Weinstein. I'm not a predator. I did ask from the beginning to both of them, are you comfortable with this? If you are, then we are in business. It wasn't like me preying on them This was a mutual agreement. They say yes on the condition that we have fake names, on the condition that our mainstream careers will not be compromised, on the condition that, blah, 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 blah. And I say yes to all of the conditions they dictated. Once they say yes, I say yes. We worked together. It was a wonderful experience. There was a lot of laughter during the making of the film, especially, with the protagonist, Juicy X. She was saying, "Hey, Guerrilla, stop walking around with your cock so hard every time. Put your pants back on. We are not shooting now. We are well on break." So there were moments of absolute, almost childish laughter, and yet the film is really traumatic, really crazy, really, really insane. But again, the purpose of this film was to express a concept of probably unprecedented freedom, a freedom where even the law could do nothing about it, where just the filmmaker and these actresses were locked in the house, and nobody in the world outside was going to stop them from being wild.
Yes. So note that going in when you watch the movie, for sure. Yeah. Well, man, it's been so great. Thank you so much for coming on and telling us about your movie. And we'll put the link out there so everybody can have the opportunity to watch it. It's meant to push boundaries of what is acceptable. So just note that going in.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Good luck in the future with all your new endeavors that you'll do later. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Guerrilla, huh?
Wow. He's wild, man.
He is. I was thinking hardcore. We do hardcore horror. He says it's not really typically horror, but esque, but it's definitely the most hardcore thing.
For sure.
Guess we have ever had, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So there you go. All right, good stuff. All right, so it hasn't been too long since we've done a podcast, so there's not a whole lot of news to cover, really. Not a whole lot going on yet. As we get close to Halloween, there may be some more stuff popping up, I'm sure. But here in September, there's not too much going on. Not really.
September. We're just getting closer to Halloween, and I'm so excited. Yeah. You got your Halloween stuff out yet?
Not yet. You ready?
No, but every day's Halloween. But my house completely transformed. So I definitely going to start on that next week for sure, because it's a long process. And Slaughterhouse is coming up. So Certain to Freaks, I'm going to be set up in the gift shop at Slaughterhouse in Nashville. It's the longest running haunt in the state of Tennessee. So definitely come check us out there.
Yeah, I asked my daughters if they wanted to come to Slaughterhouse. It's like, who's going to be there? And I think my oldest is getting to the point where she might.
Yeah.
I took them.
Okay.
My youngest is like, nope.
Nope.
No. Well, see, I took them to a haunted, just like the outdoors haunted woods thing one time. And it scared the crap out of them.
And Slaughterhouse is like the one that's kind of known. Like all the other haunts in the area, like they'll all come to Slaughterhouse and walk through because it's known to be the more intense. And it's if you're gonna go to one, it's the one to go to for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. So before we get to movies, not much to really talk about. Supposedly this month there is going to drop the Scream 7 trailer because the new Scream 7 is going to come out next year, I think in February.
Yeah.
So that's supposed to drop sometime pretty soon. I'm looking forward to that one. That's one of my big movies I'm looking forward to next year.
Yeah.
Especially because Kevin Williamson's directing, Nev Campbell's back and all that. So
yeah. I'm still gonna do my whole weekend and just binge all of the Scream movies in one weekend. So that'll be a good time for me to do it too. Right around this time. Yeah.
Well, I just finished an audiobook about all the movies. And there's definitely a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that you don't think about. But of course, one is definitely always going to be my favorite. I think 2 is right up there. It's just real neck and neck with it. I really love 2. 3 drops off quite a bit. I enjoy it, but it's not. 4 I like 4, but 4 didn't do that well at the box office. It's actually the only one that didn't do that well at the box office.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course 5 and 6 have their own place. I like 5 for the nostalgia. Or I'm sorry, I like 5 for nostalgia. 6 I like just the way it is. The only big gripe about 6 is everybody that gets stabbed a billion times dies or lives rather.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's like the biggest thing. But
what's the name of the audiobook that you listen to?
It's called Your Favorite Scary Movie. There you go.
Oh, your favorite scary movie. Okay, that's a good title. That's very fitting.
Yeah, that's Ashley
Very
Collins.
fitting.
But yeah, Peter Jackson does the animations. Pretty cool. Other than that, the only I'm looking forward to coming up pretty soon in early October is that new Monster series is coming out. Did you watch? You watched the Monster one with Dahmer on Netflix?
Oh yeah. They're the one with Charlie Hunnam's coming out. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, they're doing
Where he's Ed Gein.
Ed Gein, yeah, and that's going to be. I mean, Ed Gein. Let's face it. When it comes to, we've had a lot of serial killers, and he's not even really a serial killer, but macabre people in America. But he's probably the one that's influenced horror the most. Let's face it.
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah. You got the 3 big movies that have was influenced by him: Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Psycho, and Silence of the Lambs. Those are pretty big movies, but those weren't even all of the ones. They've made plenty of Ed Gein movies before, but this this TV show, I'm looking kind of forward to that because that could be interesting.
Yeah, me too. Another thing that I read this week that I wanted to mention, that I saw that Robert Englund was going to get his star on October 31st.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, that's really late. Like he should have got that like a long time ago. But I don't know what the criteria is for that. But I thought that was pretty cool.
I say better late than never on that kind of deal. But look, Hollywood doesn't. They're known to notoriously skip over horror, And let's face it, Robert Englund is known primarily for horror for the most part, right? I mean, he's obviously done more stuff, and he's got a theatrical background and stuff, and everything. But horror is his main thing. So I can see. Better late than never. At least he's alive.
At least he's getting one. Yeah, that's a big shocker, to get his Hollywood star. So kudos to him.
Yeah,
kudos to him.
I don't have anything else unless you do.
Nope. Just have a few movies to talk about.
All right, cool. What have you been watching?
So I just have a few on the list. The first one, and I feel like you've already probably seen all 3 of these. And they're all 3 movies that come out this year. But the first one was Locked with Bill Skarsgård. It's funny. I didn't really want to watch this movie because it is hard to watch because the entire movie is in this vehicle.
Yeah.
That's hard for me. So, but it turned out it was okay. I was like, God, this poor guy just went through hell. But it was all right. But it was hard for me to sit through. Did you like it?
Yeah, it was okay.
I don't remember you. I feel like I don't remember you talking about it. So
I don't think I ever talked about it, but I did watch it.
Okay.
Sometimes I just don't put things in there, so I just don't. I forget to. If I get to put them in, I forget to put them down or whatever. I hear you. Another movie I watched, another 2025 movie is Bring Her Back. Bring Her Back, yeah.
Did you see this one?
Yeah, the guys who did Talk to Me.
Oh, I did not realize they did Talk to Me. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It was different. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it either. There's some things of the story I would have changed on there. I was just like, oh, we should have changed this, but it is what it is. But
yeah, I watched it like twice now. I liked it better the second time. But
yeah,
I mean, I think it's pretty good. I mean, again, for 2025, I think it's up there. Because
I know, isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely like Talk to Me better than this one, but
I think I did too. Yeah.
It's a pretty good story on grief.
It is. Yeah, I think so. It's definitely worth watching for sure.
Yeah.
The last one I watched was a movie called The Home.
Yes, that's actually on my list. I did watch that.
Is it? Okay. I can't. What's the actor's name?
Pete Davidson.
Peter.
Pete Davidson.
I don't think he's the best actor.
He's
Okay, and just
actually he's actually a terrible actor.
okay, fine.
He's actually a terrible
I'm-
actor. I actually
he
can't.
is.
Like he hits it kind of funny, playing really dumb stuff occasionally on Saturday Night Live. But as far as like, as far as like being a lead in a movie, he's pretty bad. He's pretty bad.
Yeah,
Now that said,
yeah.
I actually liked the movie because there was
I
plenty of
know.
gore and there was
I
plenty
know.
of good stuff in there. Overall, we get a lot of movies about elderly people these days and stuff. That's kind of a
Oh, I
thing
know,
thing
right?
we're going to.
Right?
But this is not as good as the role of Jenny Penn or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But it does have some good gore. The twist was pretty good.
The twist
Overall,
was great. The twist was
yeah.
great. His acting, it could be a little bit better, but whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah.
a great movie, though.
I mean, it was essentially Pete Davidson playing Pete Davidson, I think, overall. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah. So that's it on my list. I just have just the three other apart from Darius and the Benefactress, which obviously I watched. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So
I don't have very many either. So
yeah, that's okay.
I just started like the Wednesday again. Wednesday picked back up the TV show. It dropped like half and then it came back.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, did you watch the first season?
I watched a few episodes. I couldn't get into it. I wanted to so bad, but I just couldn't get into it. I don't know why. I just couldn't.
Yeah, see, I really enjoyed the first season, and this one's a little bit draggier, I feel like, but it's Tim Burton, and I love his aesthetics and stuff. So
yeah,
it's worth it, I think just for him and the way he does things. I got the new Arrow releases of the Texas Chainsaw remake and the beginning, so we watched those.
Oh, those are both. I love both of those movies. I saw both of them in the theater, and they're both really good.
Yeah,
for a remake, especially.
It's kind of funny because, like, I feel like, and there was a lot of hate and sacrilege going on before making the remake, which kind of makes sense because that's the way I feel about like The Exorcist or something. Like, there's no reason.
Don't touch it. Yeah.
There's no reason to. So. And I do think that there is something to that, but and you think like Michael Bay of all people, like you wouldn't think that this would work at all, but it does. It works. I feel like they understood it. They understood, but one thing though too they had going for them. That the guy who shot this new remake is the same guy who shot the original.
Oh, like the original?
Yeah, the DP.
Oh,
the director of photography, the same guy.
Really? That's crazy. I did not know that. Well, that's a fun fact. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So after Texas, he had a great career. Did a lot of music videos and stuff, and a lot of other movies too. But so he's just really good. So that helped it obviously, but it just has it works. It works on level, and so the beginning is also just part of it. I wanted the beginning because I talked to you before about the beginning, how I have it on DVD. So the unrated version, there's two versions of it. The unrated version is only put out on DVD, and mine has disc rot. I got another one. It played halfway through and stopped.
I was gonna say it's the what were you calling it? The with the discs. Like you're like I can put it in and my disc rot. Yeah.
It's disc rot, and
that's crazy.
But so now I have my 4K, so it should be good for a while.
Yeah. What's the difference in the unrated? Because I don't think I've seen the unrated version. So is there that big of a difference?
It's not that big of a difference. It's just a little bit more gore and stuff. Nothing crazy. Yeah. I like to have the unrated versions usually.
Heck yeah. Awesome.
That's just like Scream. Scream has like it's just got a little bit more gore on Drew Barrymore and her boyfriend and the stabbing at the end. It's just split seconds of stuff. And I'm like, I want that. I want to keep that in.
Yeah.
Movie I watched recently was called Ick. It's more of a sci-fi horror film. More of a sci-fi horror comedy, really. It's very lighthearted. But I did like it. I'll tell you, it has. I mean, the soundtrack is completely 90s. All these songs that you probably hadn't heard maybe a little bit, but had heard before. So I love the soundtrack.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Brandon Ruth, I think you say his name is the guy who played Superman that one time.
Oh, okay.
Way back in the day, he's in it, and a few other people. But yeah, I like it. It was fun. It was serviceable. And the last thing is the Conjuring Last Rites. The new
one.
The new. Now, the Conjuring. I mean, the first one I think is great. I think it's a really great movie. Second one I think is pretty good. The third one is all right. So there is kind of a slump. I feel like overall with them. And this is supposed to be the last one. And I think it's time to probably put
what was the third? What was the third one called? The third one was something about
the devil made me do it.
Yeah. Yes. That one was okay. That was all right. I still like the first one the best for sure.
Yeah. I mean, this one's pretty good too. It's not terrible. I mean, it's good. But I mean, it's all the same themes and stuff. So if you like the other ones, I'm sure you like this one. I think it's doing pretty well at the box office.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's supposed to be the last one. In I don't know about in the universe, but as far as like with Ed and Lorraine,
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously a lot of backlash about Ed and Lorraine because they're known to be fraudsters and stuff. But we're kind of glorifying them on the screen.
Oh, for sure.
Some people take what you see on the screen for, the truth or whatever. But but overall, I think it's pretty good. I mean, it had some good scares and stuff, but I mean, nothing you haven't really seen before. It didn't like reinvent anything, I don't think. But I mean, it was good enough. James Wan didn't direct it, but he, I guess, co-produced it. So worth a watch for sure. But But again, it didn't reinvent the franchise. So the first one's
Gotcha. Okay. And if you are just dying to get your hands on an Annabelle replica doll, as you can see, I have one behind me, and she is leaving my house today. I am taking her to Slaughterhouse. She is up for grabs. She'll be for sale, and you can find her at the gift shop at Slaughterhouse Nashville.
I like how you start talking about her, and then you're.
I know.
Start zooming in and out.
Is that not weird? It's weird, right? It's weird, right? She actually kind of creeps me out. Like I have like all my horror babies everywhere, but she kind of creeps me out a little bit.
You're gonna keep her. Nobody wants her. Not after that one guy. Not after that one guy died. Of course, I did read that it's supposed to be natural causes.
Right, natural causes. Right. Yeah, I can't believe they got that damn doll on tour. Like it's supposed to be at Scarefest at the convention. And I have a lot of vendor friends. I'll be working Slaughterhouse, so I won't be attending that convention. But I have a lot of vendor friends. They're keeping her on a certain floor. I have all these friends. I have so many friends that are like, I am not even gonna go on that damn floor. Like, not even gonna go there. I'm like,
Scarefest is a big one. It's really a big one.
Yeah.
It's really broad. Yeah. I remember when it first started. It's really gotten.
It's huge.
Definitely the biggest one in Kentucky. Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's all I got for you.
Okay. Well, September, we got it down. We got it actually in the month this time. So awesome.
Yes. So next time will be Halloween month.
Next month for the spooky season, huh?
Spooky season. It's always spooky season. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, I know, but I'm talking about for the normies.
For the normies.
Yeah. All right. Good deal. Well, until then, stay hardcore. All right. Later.
Wow. That's hardcore.
Nothing harder.
Hardcore Horror with Mike and Bridget is a part of the Tennessee Horror Podcast Network.